Hey, hold on. Let me mute my TV. So, yes, you guys can tell that I am laying in the bed, and I'm sorry if I look busted. That's part of being a new mommy, part of having a newborn, a sick baby. You're still recovering from a C-section. Yes, honey, I'm in the bed, and little man is down there. You see him? Yeah, he down there knocked out finally because he has been screaming since last night, like off and on just screaming, and he actually fell asleep laying in my lap. um so I'm going to do a frequently asked questions. I'm kind of backed up on my video, so please excuse me as to the reason why I'm doing some of them via bedside, and some of them I'll be doing sitting up. So I'm trying to semi sit up in my bed to kind of look somewhat presentable, because I know y'all probably gonna get on me, but whatever. Let's get into this before he wakes up, and I need a nap anyway. So I'm gonna make this quick. So I got my stuff on here on my phone. Um, Question number one: how did TRICARE cover everything for your infertility? Um, well, I have TRICARE Prime. There's two types of TRICARE benefits that you can get. You can get TRICARE Standard or TRICARE Prime for active duty military. I chose TRICARE Prime because I go to the doctor a lot. If you have TRICARE Standard, then you would have copays and you can go to whatever doctor you want. But me, I have to have referrals for everything. So my PCM, which is my primary care, gave me a referral to my OB office because I told them I was trying to conceive. So they sent me to an OB slash gynecologist, whatever you want to call them, okay? Teach their own. Anywho, they sent me there. My first appointment, they wanted to do a pap smear on me and get some information as to my infertility and everything. You know, how long have we been trying, things like that. Um, what with TRICARE, well, not with TRICARE, but with any doctors, they want you to TTC for at least a year before trying to get some sort of medical help with that. So that's another thing that you need to consider as well. So I went to see my OB and told them everything that was going on. My PCM has died. She by that point had diagnosed me with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and um, that's all that I knew that far. I mean, I knew that my periods were out of whack, and it's a possibility I wasn't ovulating, and I wasn't producing eggs. Those types of things. Those were just my assumptions, because I hadn't gotten pregnant. Um, but truth be told, it was true. I mean, nobody knows your body like you, and I knew that going forward. So my OB referred me to their fertility specialist, which happened to be 2 hours away from where we're actually stationed. So I was actually having to drive back and forth. And luckily, TRICARE covers that if you're over 200 miles away from, your location, then you would get reimbursed for your food and your gas. So that was another thing that was actually good on my end. But yeah, TRICARE covered it because I had referrals to a fertility specialist. Does TRICARE cover breast pumps? Yes and no. From what I understand, they covered breast pumps for active duty military moms, and they also cover them for civilian moms that have had a preemie, which is a premature baby. Now, I'm not exactly sure on how true that is, but that's the only two ways that they would actually cover a breast pump, even with the new healthcare changes and everything. They still are not covering breast pumps, which actually freaking sucks. TRICARE, get it together. Anywho, considering the harm of Johnson & Johnson right now, what do you plan to use on your baby? Johnson & Johnson? Yes, honey. Um, I've done the research on Johnson & Johnson, and nowhere in it does it say anything about the ingredients in my Johnson & Johnson that I'm using, which is not the pink bottle, which everybody is concerned about. I use the lavender oil, which does not have anything harmful in it, and I also use the shea and cocoa butter. That's the only two things that I use on my baby, and he is doing just fine. Breast or bottle feeding? I'm doing both. He is breastfed via bottle, and he is also breastfed via boob. He is having trouble with latching. Well, not latching because he's actually latching. It's him like actually sucking correctly because his tongue is like that in the back of his throat instead of it actually being like that, so that he can actually suck the milk out. So I'm having to pump a lot and actually bottle feed him, and I try to put him on the boob as much as possible, but it doesn't always work. Anywho, cloth or disposable diapers? Disposable. I am not doing cloth diapering. It is hard enough having a freaking C-section and having a newborn and having a husband in the military that is gone damn near 12 hours a day. I will be diggity dog damned if I cloth diaper. I can't. No, my sanity is not going to allow that. So I'm using disposables, and I applaud any woman that is doing cloth diapering, but that show ain't me. Are you co-sleeping? Unfortunately, yes. And the reason being, because I had a C-section. Had I not had a C-section, he would be in his crib. He would be in his little bouncy, whatever you want to call it. He would not be up in my bed. But considering, he wakes up 1, 3, 5, and 7 in the middle of the night, and I don't move that fast to get him before he actually starts screaming, and I don't want to wake my husband up, so I have him sleeping between the two of us. That way I can get to him faster so that he's not screaming, hollering. Let's see. Where did you meet your husband? Yeah. I answered that question in one of my previous videos. Did I actually post? I don't know if I posted it or not, but me and my husband actually met online. We met on a dating site. This girl that I know, she put me on this freaking dating site, and I ran across his profile. I looked at it, and the freaking account, it actually shows you who looked at your profile, and then he messed around, he looked at mine. So then I sent him a message and was just like, oh, nice profile. And that's all I said. And then all of a sudden he sends me a message back, and then ever since then we had been talking, and he gave me his number. We text each other for a little while. Then we actually met in person. So, yeah, we met online. Let's see. Last question. Is it hard being a military spouse? For me, yes. For a lot of other women, no. I mean, I've come across different spouses here that they don't too much care what their husband do. Me, I care about my husband. I care what he do. I care where he at. He better text me and tell me where he going and where he been. I know that much. Now, some other ones here, they don't really care. They're just like, oh, my husband's gone. He's at work. And they don't question anything else. Like, their husband come in 16 hours later smelling like freaking perfume, and they ain't got no darn questions. I'm going to have some questions. That's just me. It's hard being a military spouse, period. Just because you don't know when your husband's going to deploy, if he's going to deploy, how long he's going to be gone, when he goes to work, how long he's going to be at work before he gets off, when they go on TDYs, which, in the Air Force they call it a TDY, which is like a temporary duty. They only go for like a couple days to a couple months. And I think in the Army they call it in the field. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of like training, but it's at a different base, per se. But, I mean, you have all those stipulations. Then you also got to think about these wives and them talking junk to each other and causing drama, and ain't nobody got time for that. But, anywho, Those are just some frequently asked questions that I get all the time in my inbox. If you have any other questions for me, please leave them below in the comment section, or you can inbox them to me. And thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.